Imagine sitting right now with a pitch deck in your hands, or maybe an idea barely formed, but feeling this sinking fear that no matter how hard you try, no matter how polished your slides seem, the angel investors you want to reach just don't notice you. It's like shouting into a crowded room where everyone's talking, and all you get back is silence. You've studied every pitch guide, you've talked to experts, but something's missing. You feel it in your bones, the thing that keeps angel investors from getting obsessed with your startup. It's not luck, it's not timing, it's something deeper, something almost invisible. Here's the brutal truth. Most startups fight for attention the wrong way. They offer the same rehearsed story, the same numbers, the same promises. They sound like everyone else. And investors, they see through it instantly. Because angel investors are not just numbers, guys. They are hunters of the rare, the exceptional, the ones who don't fit in neat categories. If your story doesn't ignite that fire in them, if it doesn't touch something raw, real, unpolished, they won't care. They won't look twice. So what makes an angel investor obsessive? What's the secret code to crack through their doubts, their filters, their thousands of deals they evaluate every year? The answer is shockingly simple, but wildly misunderstood. It's about power. Your power. Not the power to convince, not the power to sell, but the power to be unapologetically authentic. A force of nature they can't ignore because you're not just building a company. You're building a movement, a challenge to the tired status quo that quietly leeches life from so many safe ideas. Think about it. Exactly why do you think angel investors invest? Not because they want to play it safe or fit into the system. They are rebels by nature. They back founders who refuse the comfortable path. Guys and girls who burn with an intensity that scares the normal world. They don't want the next cookie-cutter app or disruptive clone. They want to be part of something sharp, something raw, something that feels alive, something that whispers, if you don't back this, you'll regret it forever. That means if your startup doesn't embody audacity, if it doesn't break rules, or at least question why the rules exist, you won't hook them. Investors obsess over founders who don't just follow a checklist, but who wear their scars with pride. The messy late nights, the gut-wrenching decisions that no one else understands, the moments they almost quit, these are the things that make an investor lean in close, not your PowerPoint margins. Here's an incredibly real truth. Obsession from an angel investor doesn't come from showing you have the perfect market or the flashiest technology. It comes from showing your character through your vision. Investors are emotional beings. They gamble on the founder's soul because at the end of the day, money follows belief. If you can get an investor to believe in you, not just your numbers, but your relentless pursuit of something bigger, they won't just give you money. They'll move heaven and earth to help you win. That is obsession. To become that kind of founder, the one who hypnotizes angel investors, you've got to stop playing the game others expect. You've got to tap into what your startup really means beyond the product or service. What idea or truth are you fighting for? What world do you want to forge through this business? Investors don't invest in companies. They invest in people pushing boundaries, challenging norms, tearing down old structures to build new ones. If you can't answer that honestly, no script or pitch will save you. But here's the thing. It's not about grand gestures or empty bravado. It's about a deep, almost painful honesty with yourself and your audience. It's about showing up raw and understanding your own scars, your own rebellion. When you can do that, it crackles through the screen and grabs investors like a spark in dry grass. It makes them feel something primal, hope, fire, the sweet chaos of possibility. And this ties back to the real problem angel investors face. Too many founders come with rehearsed pitches and polished smiles, but no real fire. Investors are starving for the exceptional, but the exceptional demands more than a sales funnel. It demands authenticity. It demands you break the cages called normal. It demands ruthless honesty and the courage to burn what's safe to chase what's real. Here's how to channel that and turn it into pure obsession. First, embrace your edges. Most startups shrink from the things that make them different because they fear judgment or rejection. Angel investors see edges as signs of life. If you're grinding to make your vision less abrasive, less weird, less difficult, you're dying inside, and angels sense it immediately. Your startup must own its strange, its difficult, its unpolished essence. This magnetic contradiction, the mix of brilliance and chaos, pulls investors like gravity. Second, don't sell your product. Sell your rebellion. Investors aren't dumb. They have endless options. What makes you worth risking their money on? It's not the idea itself, but the war you're willing to fight with it. Show how your startup isn't just a business, but a battle against mediocrity, a weapon against a complacent world that rewards obedience and punishes innovation. If your startup doesn't scare comfortable worlds, why should they care? Third, your story must be a living thing, not a script. This means you don't memorize answers. You live the narrative. Investors obsess when they hear founders who breathe their vision breath by breath, who articulate the chaos and joy of building, who speak with fierce faith beyond data points. This is what cuts through the noise. A founder who's not just pitching, but pulling investors into a vibe no one else can replicate. Fourth, patience becomes your secret weapon. Obsession isn't sparked in a moment, but kindled over time. Investors want founders who play the long game, who don't see their startup as a quick flip, but as a relentless climb towards something transcendent. When you show grit, discipline, and the willingness to evolve without selling out, investors feel safe to get close. They start to imagine a future so big, they want every piece of it. Fifth, build alliances with the few who burn as fiercely as you do. Investors are not looking for a crowd, they're looking for a tribe. If your network is shallow or simply transactional, investors won't see you as a force, but as a one-off gamble. But if you connect with a community, other rebels, other outliers, that ecosystem breathes life into your startup. Investors sense the fire when it spreads beyond one person. And finally, remember this: obsession from angel investors happens when you stop trying to fit into the system and start transcending it. The world of startups is full of noise, rules, systems that reward obedience and punish risk. The founders who make angel investors obsess are those who refuse to be part of that system in the usual way. They build new paths, challenge old assumptions, and live with relentless freedom. So here's the unvarnished secret. Obsession isn't about winning a deal or closing a round. It's about becoming someone who cannot be ignored. Someone who stops being a part of the problem and starts being a part of the solution that rewrites what's possible. Angel investors don't want another startup. They want a revolution wrapped in a business plan. They want founders who burn with the kind of fire that turns cold logic into blazing hope. You can give them that. You can be that. But it requires surrendering comfort, embracing the difficult truth, and stepping into your wildest potential without apology. Every second you wait, another pitch passes through. Another angel votes no, because it misses that spark only the brave can ignite. But when you claim that spark, when you relentlessly show your true self, obsession becomes unstoppable. They don't just back you, they champion you. They move heaven and earth, because they see you're not just building a company, you're building the future. This is the revolution startup founders and angel investors were looking for all along. The one that breaks the old system by revealing the power of the individual who dares to be more. So stop begging for attention. Start being the attention, the magnetic force, the wildfire in the quiet forest that changes everything. This is what makes angel investors obsess. This is how to become unforgettable.